Hi, I'm Dan. I'm going to take you through a short tutorial on how to use Adobe Illustrator to create interesting effects with typography and type styling. Okay, so what we're going to do is try to recreate some of these typographic styles you might see in sports teams or cereal boxes. The process is fairly straightforward. It involves a 4-step process that can be elaborated and expanded upon. Firstly, choosing the suitable typeface to set the tone of the product. Secondly, creating outlines of the text. Thirdly, creating compound path. Finally, offsetting that path. I'll explain these features now. We take our original text box and we'll duplicate it to create outlines. Type, create outlines. Notice now in the layers, this layer has become a group, each letter being now its own layer. Duplicate it one more time. And now to create a compound path. Object, compound path, make. This reduces the 4 layers into a single layer. We do lose the color, but I'll choose a new one to replace the black. And finally, duplicate one more time to offset path. Select your layer, object, path, offset path. You can see here I have 4 pixels. That number can be made bigger, smaller. Can change the joins to have square corners rather than round. And I'll OK that. If I get in closer, you can see created a duplicate, so slightly bigger than the original. I'll change the color. And we'll try that again. Object, path, offset path, one more time. This time I will use the rounded corners. So what we are effectively left with are 3 versions of the text. It allows me to arrange them in symmetrical or shifting them to one side to create some depth. If we look back at the examples, you'll see this one in particular, the Rice Krispies, has quite a lot of layers there, varying colors and sizes to effectively show that depth. Something that can be difficult is size. So if at this point we make our original shape much bigger, we can have a little more finesse with this. Object, path, offset path. Okay. Change that color. Object, path, offset path. Slightly bigger this time. Okay, we're going to try this font now, though I need to create a little more space between the letters. So within the character panel, I'll adjust this tracking value larger number to create more space. Here's one I prepared earlier, which has the desired space that I need. So I duplicate it. In the type menu, I first create outlines. And then object, compound path, make. I'll choose another color to fill it, yellow. Make it bigger. Okay, now object, path, offset path. Okay, so we'll go orange, object, path, offset path. Okay, make it green. Give it a kind of pineapple feel. Now, I'm also going to try another trick this time. Duplicate the original. A very dark color. And object, path, offset path. Though this time, we're using a negative number to end up with a smaller version. You can delete that, leaving the smaller one. Duplicate that, change the color, and move these very close to each other. Click and drag over both of those. And this time using my Pathfinder window, Pathfinder if you don't have it already open, to subtract the front object from the back object, leaving only the silhouette of a slight edge. When I put up here and change to white. Gives it the little highlight that can really make it pop. So you can see there's 4 layers there, which I can play around with the angles to make it just right. And one final step I can try is to warp it by selecting all my layers, going into the envelope distort to warp the text in a subtle way. Several different options to choose from. And also using my free transform tool to add an extra dimension. This technique requires a lot of experimentation and practice, but once you understand these 4 principles, choosing the right typeface, creating the outlines, making a compound path, and offsetting the path, you'll be able to analyze any product you see on the shelf and recreate something very, very similar in a very short amount of time. Hopefully this is helpful, and we'll see you next time.